What's up? Gonna drive across town to Big Rig Product. I got a few things that I'm doing here. Gotta get my GPS set up. I have a pretty damn good idea of how to get there, but um, I still like to have the GPS, and I need to get on personal conveyance and all that good stuff. Um, while I'm driving over there, I'll talk about my thoughts on the APU situation and Big Rig Product. Why is my engine idling up? It's probably because it's cold. All right, let's get into hours of service. Bear with me just a minute. I'm getting logged into the tablet. The tablet had an error when I got in here saying that it had overheated. I'm like, are you kidding me? It's cold outside. So my restoration is 38 hours and 30 minutes. So I've done a 34. I'm going to use personal conveyance here. Returning to drop yard, which is what I'm doing. I dropped my trailer at Big Rig Product, and I'm driving back over there. All right, so let's get the belt on. And when I turn the interior light off, it will hopefully improve the video. I need to get better headlights. It's on my to-do list of things to replace is the headlights, because I've cleaned them, and you know what? Let's go reverse. I just want to back up, take a look at the garage just to make sure. Damn door is closed, because that's the way I came out of the house. Yep, we're good. And I'm just trying to remember if there's anything I forgot to do. I don't think there is. There are people already out, like, walking around in my neighborhood. There's a lot of foot traffic in my neighborhood. And I already saw somebody out walking his dog a few minutes ago. It's 5:45 a.m. I told the guys over at Big Rig Product that I was gonna get there real early, um, like 7 a.m. or earlier, so that I wouldn't have to deal with traffic. Like, I'm probably still gonna have to deal with traffic even leaving this early. Last time I went over there, I left at about 6 a.m. or 6:15 a.m. and traffic was pretty crazy getting over there. I mean, it wasn't stop and go or anything, but it was still heavy traffic with a lot of stupid people doing a lot of stupid things. So I'm hoping, this extra 15 to 30 minutes early that I'm leaving this time will be enough that I think that's the guy walking his dog that I was just talking about. No, it doesn't look like that guy's got a dog. He's just walking. You can see him over to the left. But yeah, there's a tremendous amount of foot traffic in my neighborhood. And they just recently installed sidewalks. Most of the neighborhood did not have sidewalks. Second to get out onto the street. So, if you didn't watch my last video, I'll talk about Big Rig products and I'll talk about what I did while I was at home. So, I've had a lot of work done on my APU. My APU's had an overheating issue since I bought it. And I took it in and just told Big Rig Products last week to just basically replace the whole coolant system. And in the process of replacing all those parts, they found out that the water pump that was installed was too small for the unit. Um, and what Carrier told them when they contacted Carrier about it and verified the correct part number, Carrier told them if that particular water pump that they gave them the part number for was installed in the unit, that it would slowly overheat, because it just wouldn't be able to keep up with cooling it, and it would eventually overheat, which was exactly what it was doing. Other than that, my unit was running great. It would just overheat. Depending on how hot the coolant was when I turned the APU on, it could take anywhere from like 30 minutes to 11 or 12 hours to overheat. I'd had it run for 13 hours before without overheating. Um, but that was the only problem I had with it. Well, after Big Rig Products replaced all that stuff, they had a lot of issues bleeding air out of the lines. And the unit was overheating because there was air in the lines. Because it wasn't able to properly circulate coolant because of the air. Well, it kept overheating, and they kept telling me to just keep running it to work the air out of the lines, because they spent 2 or 3 hours trying to get the air out of the lines, and they couldn't get all the air out of the lines. So they just told me to just go run it until drive the truck around and run the APU until the air got out of the lines. And so I did. Drove the truck back to my house and then ran the APU when I got there. And it overheated and shut off. And then I couldn't start it after that. So I was like, well, maybe there's a lot of back pressure or something. It's not able to turn over because there's so much air in the line causing pressure. So I thought maybe it'd work itself out whenever I drove it. So I drove it and it didn't. I went all the way out to Pennsylvania and back. I was able to eventually get the thing to start, but it didn't run right. Like it ran at a really low idle, and if you try to give it throttle, it'd die. It wasn't able to run the air conditioner or anything because every time it tried to throttle up, it would just die, like it was fuel restricted or something. So I took it back into the shop and to Big Rig Products, and I told them to service it and fix whatever in the hell was wrong with it. I said it's like a fuel issue or something is what it seems like. Well, they started doing the service first before repairing it, and whenever they went to drain the oil, coolant came out. So he told me that I had a blown head gasket. And I said, okay, what does that mean? And he said, well, it means that your engine is done. And I said, we can't repair it. And he said, well, the cost of repairing it, taking it to a machine shop and everything, would cost more than replacing the unit. I was like, wow. And he said, yeah, that was probably your whole problem all along was, and it just got worse and worse every time it overheated. I'm not going to say that that's not a possibility, but I am really disappointed in Big Rig products. I'm quite quite upset. And there's still a lot of fucking traffic for 5:45 in the damn morning. And look at these sons of bitches weaving through traffic, cutting people off and shit. It doesn't matter what time you drive on the roads these days. It's just dumbasses everywhere all the time. But I am disappointed that they didn't take any ownership, no responsibility whatsoever. They just immediately like washed their hands of it as if they had nothing to do with it. Um, so I'm really, really upset and disappointed with them over that because they didn't accept any responsibility. They didn't offer to make it right in any way by like giving me a discount on the replacement unit. You know, like giving me parts only or, you know, half labor or nothing. They didn't do anything for me. And I'm really ticked off about that because I feel that this was not a problem with the unit. Like, yeah, I agree. It is a possibility that this was an underlying issue the whole time. But I, I, I just, I can't. I don't think so. No, because all the issues that are happening with it right now are new issues. It ran great. It ran flawless. I never had, and I've had it serviced before, and it didn't have coolant in the oil. Ah, these dumbasses. I'm gonna go ahead and get in the right lane because we're like 3 lights away from the exit, and these people get really, really defensive of the right lane once you get close. And people are gonna come in hard trying to pass me and cut me off for the right lane because almost everyone in front of me needs to take a right lane exit in about 2 or 3 lights. Almost everyone that's going to be passing me is going to be wanting to go in the same direction I am on that right lane exit. So, got to be prepared for it. I can't stop stupid people from doing stupid things. So, I just got to try to watch out for myself as much as possible. Ooh, it looks like I might be lucky. There's all the cars are in front. Oh, shit. No, we got a red light. That's going to let a whole bunch of people come up from behind me. There was almost no one behind me. Almost everyone that was behind me has already passed me. And if we would have gotten a green light, then I would have been able to coast through here without too much problem. But now I have traffic catching up with me, so I'm probably going to have a couple of people try to cut me off. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. Oh, yeah. Everybody behind me stopped. Hell yeah. Because the other thing is I need to turn from the outside lane to double right. And I would have a lot of people, that group of cars behind me would be passing me on the right, and they would be really defensive of letting me back over because it drops down to a single lane. I got somebody coming up right now. I don't think they're going to try to pass me. I hope they don't. No, they're being cool. All right, so that's like the what we just went through is the worst part of this whole drive. The rest of it should be pretty cake. That Northwest Expressway right there, just getting on the interstate is it's an absolute fucking nightmare. They need to redesign it. They need to add more turn lanes and stuff because that is a really, really heavy traffic on ramp. Um, so anyway, yeah, I think there's a very high probability. Yeah, I can't prove it. I'm not a mechanic, and I can't say with 100% certainty that there was no damage to the head gasket beforehand. I mean, there were no symptoms of it until after it overheated the last time because they didn't bleed the damn air out properly. Um, so, I mean, I'm pissed off, but it's not going to do me any good to go in there and raise hell with them. Um, because what could end up happening is they may tell me that, if I feel that way, then they don't really want to do business with me anymore. And they may just tell me to go somewhere else. And the other places charge a lot more to replace the unit, like APU Center. Um, Whenever I initially had them work on the unit, and I told them, that I just bought the truck and, the APU had been setting for a long time, and, all the stuff, they're like, man, you might want to just replace this unit. Because you have no idea what kind of problems you're going to run into with this thing. And they tried to talk me into replacing the whole damn unit. And I was like, well, how much would it cost to replace the unit? And they wanted something crazy, like I want to say it was like $5,000 to replace the engine, just the engine, with a used unit, a used engine. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I could buy a brand new one for that. I didn't tell them that. I was just like, no, that's if it comes down to that, then I'll just not use the APU. I try not to get into arguments and stuff when people do stupid shit around me. I try to, be as cordial as possible. Um, it's not beneficial to get into a debate or argument with them whenever they say something absolutely ridiculous like that, because all I'm going to do is put them on the defensive by arguing with them about it or calling them out on their bullshit. They're just going to get defensive about it and put their foot down, and their whole goal in life is then going to become to prove themselves right. But yeah, I'm really disappointed in Big Rig Products for not taking any responsibility and not trying to make it right in any way. Um, they have good prices, so they're only charging me somewhere between $1,500 and $1,700 to replace the engine. It would have been really nice if they would have not, gave me a discount of some kind after I just paid them $800 to fix an overheating issue, and they made it worse and caused the damn head gasket to blow out. So anyway, that's my thoughts on the APU thing. So now let me tell you what I did at home and what I'm gonna do. So I got into Oklahoma City Sunday afternoon about right around 4 p.m. And I didn't think it was worth my time to drive over to my house, um, to hang out for a couple of hours, and then drive back to Big Rig Product, or hang out at my house for a couple hours, sleep, and then drive back to Big Rig Product to have my truck worked on. So I just stayed home. I didn't stay home. I stayed in the truck at Big Rig Product Sunday. I just played around on my computer, watched some TV. I think I was watching Stargate Universe. I'm rewatching that series. And then, went to bed, woke up, and had the truck in the shop all day long. Well, it wasn't actually in the shop all day. The guy I scheduled with, the shop manager, the service manager, Glenn, apparently didn't tell his head mechanic that I was going to be in on Monday. So his head mechanic had all the bays full of trucks, and he had a whole bunch of other stuff he was working on, and he didn't like have any time to work on my truck. So he had to finish putting trucks back together to get them out of the bay so that he could get me in a bay. So I didn't get in a bay until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I sat there from 8 a.m. when they opened until almost 1 p.m. It was like 12:45, 12:50. Roughly 1 p.m. I finally, after 5 hours, got into a dock, and then they started doing the service. And I could tell right away that they did not, like, they were trying to find a way out. Like, I think when I described to him what was going on, he immediately knew what happened, or had a really good idea of what happened based on my description. And I think he was just skirting around the problem, trying to avoid it and trying to think of a way to, dump it into my lap. So I'm anyway, we're talking about big rig product again. That's not what I'm talking about. But anyway, they got me into the bay. They did the service. They told me, I'm fucked. And then I sat around until around 4:30 p.m., 4:15, 4:20, while they tested out the other APU to make sure it was working. To make sure that I would be coming back the next day to get the APU installed. What the hell is going on up here? I'm going to switch lanes because I don't know what in the fuck that is over on the right. It looks like it's just a construction speed limit sign. And that's a pretty fucked up construction speed limit sign. Whoever the dumbass is that put that shit up. Because you have to move over for stopped emergency vehicles. And it has flashing yellow lights on a fucking really bright flashing white and yellow lights on a speed limit sign for construction area. So you can't really tell what it is. There's more of them. There's another one. This one's in a more lit area. I can see what in the hell it is. The other ones, I couldn't tell what in the hell they were. That's the reason I moved over. I thought it was like a construction vehicle or something on the shoulder. Well, this construction is new. I just drove through here last week and this shit wasn't here. Yeah, I left there, went home, got home at like 5:30 or so. And I just hung out. I ordered pizza. I looked at a whole bunch of delivery, and I really wanted KFC, but oh my God, the delivery fees that KFC had, they were using Grubhub for delivery, and I was trying to order their 8-piece family meal so I could eat leftovers for a couple of days. And the 8-piece family meal is $22. Well, by the time I got to checkout, that $22 meal, they wanted like $37 or $38 for it, with all of their service fees and delivery fees and just all their ridiculous fees and tips and everything that they expected. You know, I could have been an asshole and not tip, but that would have only dropped it down by like $5. I still would have been paying like $13 or something to have it delivered. So it's going to cost me somewhere in the area of like $16 to $18 to have it delivered. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's almost double the cost of the meal. Like that's like I could get a second 8-piece meal for that shit. And I was looking around at, you know, all kinds of other deliveries, and they just like the deliveries have gotten so absurd on their prices. I think what it is they feel like they have people, you know, forced in or something on it. Like businesses have no other options, so they have to do it. But the it's not just the delivery. Holy shit! Did you see that? That the pickup truck was merging on, and the pickup truck that was already in the right lane started moving over into the left lane, the middle lane, and there's a car right alongside of him that he just started merging onto. And then he realized that that car was there right before he hit it and whipped it back over. But yeah, I looked around at tons of different delivery places, and their prices are so jacked. Okay, so it's not just the service fees and the delivery fees. You're gonna pay $5 to $10 for service and delivery fee and tip, easily. It can be way more than that. But the thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the cost of the food is actually jacked up as well by roughly 30% on delivery. So they're charging you like 30% extra for the food, and then you're charged a service fee, a delivery fee, and you're expected to tip on top of that. So you go and you try to order like 8. I'll give you an idea. The one of the things I order all the fucking time is Panda Express. Their 2 entree platter. It is $8.40 if I go to Panda Express and get it. If I order it delivery, it ends up costing me a total of about $16, not including a tip. All right, this is a busy spot we're going by right now. There's this is the 240/35 junction, so gotta watch out for stupid people doing stupid things. Gonna have a lot of people exiting and a lot of people coming on right here. There's one of the big employers. Damn, dump truck. You came on that on ramp really fast. I wasn't sure you were going to be able to maintain and stay in your damn lane. See this huge line of cars. Um, and one of the biggest employers over here in this area of southeast Oklahoma City is Tinker Air Force Base. They have a bunch of military personnel and a bunch of contractors, government employees. They're just a massive, they have a lot of people there. So a lot of this traffic is probably going to Tinker. I think the Bryant Avenue exit that I get off on is I think that's also an exit for Tinker. I'm not sure if it's Bryant or Douglas. that most of the Tinker people exit on. I think they might actually go down to Douglas. So I'm getting off on the next exit. You know, it might be even further down than that because I can't remember if we've already passed Douglas. But I don't think we've gone by the I don't think we've gone by the main Tinker exit. So I suspect that's what the majority of that traffic right there is people going to Tinker. A buddy of mine just got hired on there, I think. Um, he told me that he got a government job. I assumed it was at Tinker, not 100%. All right, that guy told me he's going to open this gate up at 6 a.m. and it is 6:12 right now, so we'll see if that's accurate. What I plan on doing is I'm going to pull in here, and they told me where to park because I told them I was going to get here real early before they get here, and they told me where I could park, and they said that they're going to have to do the install outside. That guy just pulled right out in the middle of the damn road. He did not stop behind the stop sign. Um, so I'm just going to pull up to that spot they told me to, and I think I'll go to bed. Make sure there's nobody behind me because I'm going to be using all the lanes. Make this right turn here. Oh yeah, he's got the gate open. He wasn't kidding. Oh my goodness. It's a nice little turn. But yeah, once I get done here, oh well, let me finish telling you what I did when I got home. Let me park first. What the hell? I don't think this guy with his horse trailer was here when I left yesterday. They told me to pull up in front of this bay right here. Let me back up and get nice and straightened up with it. Um, should be enough room for me. Yeah, when I first got home, I took a shower and I did laundry. Um, you know what? Let me back up just a little bit because I think they have to bring the engine out of. I want to stay on the cement slab, but I'm pretty sure they have to bring the engine out of this door. So I don't want to pull up so close that they can't like move the engine out. All right. So let me finish my thoughts now that I don't have to focus on any kind of driving. And let me go off of personal conveyance. I didn't want to go to the grocery store right at 5 p.m. when I got there, so I took a shower. I ordered, pizza delivery, and because I couldn't bring myself to spending 40 damn dollars to order $20 worth of food from KFC, and I didn't feel like driving. So, ordered Domino's and played, on my computer, played some video games and relaxed and ate, after I took my shower and did, let the laundry run, and then, messed around doing that until about 3 a.m. And then at about 3 a.m., I went and took another shower, put on, some clean clothes out of the laundry, went down to the grocery store and got a whole bunch of stuff, and came back to the house, loaded all that stuff up into the truck. I got milk. I bought a whole bunch of stuff from the deli. I got potato salad. They had some barbecue beans. They had some fried chicken. If you can't tell, I was really craving some fried chicken. Um, I got some. What? What else did I get? I got a whole bunch of chips. I got hot fries and baconettes, and I can't remember what else I got. Um, oh, they had a whole bunch of disinfectant wipes, like the Clorox wipes, but off-brand stuff. All the Clorox, all the name brand stuff was gone, but they had this off-brand stuff there. So now I'm not going to have to be like stingy with my Clorox wipes. I can go ahead and start using my Clorox wipes because I have replacements. So I can start, wiping down the steering wheel every day like I used to, and using my Clorox wipes frivolously, like I used to when nobody else bought them except me. I use the shit out of those things. But yeah, I got everything loaded up in the truck, and then I went in the house and got the house situated, and ready for me to take off. And then I hopped in the truck and started recording and drove over here. And my plan right now is whatever I feel like. Um, I'm going to be in the truck all day while they're working on it. I hope it doesn't take all damn day. But what I plan on doing is just hanging out here. And this afternoon, I'm going to drive over to my pickup on my next load. I'm not going to go back to my house. Whenever they get finished with the APU, I'm going to take off over to I think it's Wagner, Oklahoma, which is just southeast of Muskogee. No, it's right next to Muskogee, southeast of Tulsa. And I'm picking up a load there going to Richmond, Kentucky. It pays like $2,400. What I make on the load is roughly $1,600 is what I'm making on the load with fuel surcharge and my 65% cut. And it's like 750 miles. I think it's 744 miles if I remember correctly. Um, so it's a really good paying load, and it's only like 60 miles, 60, 80 miles or something like that from Oklahoma City. So I don't have a huge deadhead, and it's going to put me in the vicinity of a lot of potential unicorn loads. Um, I'm still on the lookout for really good loads. I haven't seen anything absolutely amazing. I have seen some really good loads that pick up like today. they haven't, like, most of the good loads are not out in the future very far. They're like within the next day or so. So I'm just waiting for them to post another good load, and I'm gonna try to get a unicorn load out of there, and hopefully make this a really awesome week because last time I was out on the road, I spent so much. I was out for 2 weeks, and I spent so much on truck repairs that it was basically a break even for me. I wasn't able to put any money away at all. All the money either went to paying bills or putting money into the truck. Um, oh shit, there's somebody parked right there, taking off. um, it either I'm I left my lights on for the sake of the video, so it wouldn't just be a pitch black screen. You can still see. I got my running lights on now, my clearance lights and stuff. My headlights are off. Um, the hell was I saying? Oh yeah, the pretty much all. So I made about $7,400 in those 2 weeks, about $3,700 a week after expenses. That's how much I made after fuel and my insurance and all that stuff. That's how much I made. Um, but $7,400, I put $5,400 of that back into the truck, getting the alignment redone, which wasn't necessary, but I wanted to get it done. And $800 getting the APU fixed, which also not a necessity. It's not a DOT violation. It's not a regulation. It's not a mandatory thing. But I want a functional APU. So it's $5,400 I didn't have to spend, but I did spend. And then the remainder of it, the other 2,000, basically just went to paying my mortgage and car payment and electric bill and all the rest of that shit. Um, and then the week that I went out just this last week, I made roughly about the same, about, I think it was around $3,700 again, $3,700 that I made after expenses. But I had like Uh, I haven't gotten the settlement yet, so I don't know exactly how much I'm going to make on it. But I think that I'm like $600 or $700 in the hole from how much time I took off. $126 a week for 3 weeks. Plus, I had tolls come out. So I have a couple $100 in tolls on top of that. So I think this paycheck on this Friday is going to be about $3,000. So what's the situation again this week? I'm going to spend the preventative maintenance on the truck costs $320. And then the APU is going to cost me between $1,500 and $1,700. So it's going to cost me like somewhere in the area of $2,000 that I'm putting into the truck again. And I'm only making $3,000 this week. So that leaves $1,000 to go toward bills. So it's another break-even week, is what it is. Um, it's really bumming me out. So that's the reason I'm starting to like I'm getting antsy sitting at home. I want to keep running because I need like 2 or 3 solid weeks in a row to rebuild my bank account so that I'll feel comfortable again. Because right now my bank account is getting really low and it is freaking me out. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm stressing out over money because I've dumped so much money into this truck, and the APU is all optional. It's not a requirement that I have an APU. Um, so it's one of those things where, like, I want this truck to last me at least 2 years. If I could get 5 years out of this truck, that would be amazing. If I get two, I'll be happy. If I get less than two, I'm not going to be very happy. So, I'm 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 willing to put some money into it so it'll last me a while, and I'm hoping after I put all this money into it, it is going to last me a long time. I'm hoping that there's a light at the end of the tunnel on the amount of money I've been putting into this truck. But the only money I can think of that I had to put into the truck, injector cups, $2,500, axle gaskets. I replaced all four of the drives. Only two of them were leaking, and that cost me like 450, 500-ish dollars, somewhere in that area. So we'll just round it up 500 for easy math. So that's $3,000 right there that had to be done. What else did I have done that had to be done? Air horn didn't work when I first got the truck, but that was only like 40 bucks at the TA. I think the asshole that had the truck before me, whenever he removed his inverter, um, I think he was running his inverter electric line along the rest of the lines underneath there. And whenever he removed it, he just got like a box cutter and cut his zip ties or whatever he had them held on there with, and he sliced the air line going to the air horn. So I can't think of any other major repairs that I had to get done, like that was not optional, like had to get done, or it was a DOT violation or a safety issue. So I think I've only spent about $3,000 that had to absolutely be done, DOT violation or safety issue. Everything else I put into the truck, like after this with the APU, I will have put at least $4,000 into the APU that I can think of off the top of my head. I think it's, there's another $500 at least that I'm not thinking of that I paid to have work done on the APU. Oh yeah, there's definitely more because yeah, I've had yeah, yeah, there's more than that. But $4,000 roughly, plus up to 500, maybe somewhere between 4,000 and $4,500 that I've put into the APU. And then, oh, also the radiator hose. That was a non-optional thing, but that was only like $45 because I replaced it myself. Um, but yeah, the realignment alone of the thing was $4,600. That was optional. I replaced the passenger mirror because the antenna mount was broken. That was optional. That was $500. So that's $5,100. And there's a whole bunch of little things I had to replace, like the Glad hand mount on the back was broken whenever I bought the truck, and I have a brand new one installed there. That was only like 30 bucks. Um, I replaced the headlights, just the bulbs. That was like 50 bucks. The old ones were working, but I replaced them with higher wattage lights, hoping that I would be able to see better. It didn't really work out. The inside of the lights are just filthy, and I would have to take them apart and take them into my house to clean them, type thing. And there are parts of it that would be a pain in the ass to get to clean. I just don't think the lights are sealed properly, and it's allowed a bunch of shit to get in there, and it's cut down on the light that comes out of them by a lot. Um, I don't know. I could sit here for an hour trying to remember all the money I put into this truck, and I don't really want to. I'll just get depressed if I come up with the total figure. But I think I've spent somewhere in the area of ten to $15,000 in optional and mandatory repairs on the APU in the truck and everything, like somewhere in the ballpark of $10,000 to $15,000 that I put into the truck. And that's almost exactly what I've made since I've been an owner operator. After, you take out money for my rent and my bills and everything. So it's being an owner operator for me, these first 3 or 4 months or so have basically been a break even with all of the money that I put into the truck. But the reason I'm putting this much money into the truck is because I'm in it for the long haul. I'm not just a lot of this stuff. If I didn't get it fixed, it would probably lead to other issues. And so I'm trying to get everything in tip top shape to try to get the most out of this truck for the longest that I can. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm doing. But I think that's about it for this video. I think that's enough rant and raving and rambling. I'm probably gonna have a lot of downtime tonight, and it's only gonna be like an hour and a half drive, I think, to Wagner. I don't know. With the route that I'm taking, it might be a little bit longer than that. I don't know what route Google's gonna want me to take. Um, So I'll probably record the whole drive to Wagner, and I'll have to check and see what kind of parking they have and stuff. But yeah, these guys are really slow to start in the morning, and they start their shift at like 8 a.m. So they probably won't get around to working on my truck until 9 or 10 a.m. So I expect I'm gonna be here all day. I'll be mildly surprised if they have me out of here by 11 a.m. or noon. If they have me out of here like by 10 a.m. or something, I might consider going back to the house instead of, going and setting for 24 hours at the shipper. So, I don't know. Decisions to be made later in the day. I might be so tired because I've been up since 7 a.m. yesterday. In 26 minutes I will have been up for 24 hours. So even if they get me done by 10, I might be so damn tired that I'll just be like, all right, I'm just going to move the truck over to my trailer and go back to sleep and just wait until wait until later in the day when I wake up and then, drive off out of here. And I need to sweep that damn truck out, which isn't that big of a deal since it's nice and cool. Um, I might sweep it out here before I leave. It has dog food in it, and I'm really concerned. I'm really tempted to hit up my DM and be like, hey, will you guys pay for a washout? And she's going to be like, why? And I'm going to be like, because Walmart is really picky on trailers, and that I'm about to pick up a Walmart load, and the shipper is going to know that Walmart's picky, so they're probably going to be picky. And this thing had dog food in it. It reeks of dog food, and there was a whole bunch of dog food on the floor, so some bags busted open in here. And I don't think sweeping it out is going to get the smell out. And it's overwhelming. So I'm really thinking about asking them about a washout. I've never ever done a washout ever. Like even back when I was driving truck before, never did a washout. I never even had my truck washed. I've never been into a Blue Beacon ever as a truck driver. So I think maybe if I sweep it out here, I mean, it's just dog food. Like, if I sweep it out onto the ground, animals will eat it. The birds, the squirrels, all the things will eat it. So it's not like it's trash I'm going to be sweeping out on the ground. So I don't feel bad about sweeping it out on the ground here. I don't sweep trash out onto the fucking ground. I'm not one of those assholes. Like, one of the things I see Prime drivers, and I always badmouth Prime drivers because, like, it's like, there's so much to talk about with Prime drivers. Um, One of the things I see these Prime drivers doing in their videos, it just pisses me off, is they're out there giving, tips and advice and suggestions. They're like, oh man, one of the things you've got to get yourself is a leaf blower so that it's so easy to sweep out a trailer with the leaf blower. Now, if you're using a fucking leaf blower to sweep out the trailer, is there any way that you can collect it up and put it in a trash can? No, there's not. You're just blowing it out the back of the fucking trailer. So that tells me all these assholes at Prime that have leaf blowers, they're the ones that are just blowing this shit out onto the truck stop parking lot, or, at the shippers and receivers. You see the big piles of trash at the, back end of the trailers. Yeah, people like that. I don't do that shit. I will pick it up by hand and put it in the trash. I don't care how far I got to walk. I don't litter. I don't disrespect other people's property. And it pisses me off when I see other people do it. But yeah, I think if I sweep it out here, that may allow it to air out a bit while I'm driving over to Wagner. And then it'll be able to set for a day on top of that, because I'm going to get there almost a day early. I'm going to get there like 12, 14, 15 hours early or something. And I'll give it time to air out a bit. I think after I sweep it out, I'll just kind of get a rough idea how bad the smell is. I got some Febreze. Maybe I'll walk up and down the trailer with some Febreze. Because it's fixtures is what this next load I'm picking up is listed as, is fixtures. I don't know what in the hell that means. But if it was any kind of food product, I'm pretty sure they're not going to load it in that trailer with how bad it smells. And if Walmart opens up, because I've had like Niagara tell me, like, I have to sweep out the trailer and it can't have any smell or anything like that. They said that Walmart's really picky and they'll reject the load if they open it up and it's dirty, or it has a smell or anything like that. And that's Niagara bottled water that told me that. And they were talking specifically about Walmart. So Walmart is real anal about stuff. My one saving grace on this is that it's going directly to a store and not a distribution center. So the store may just be like, fuck it, unload that shit. Distribution center? No. Not so much. Here, okay, well, let's leave on some good news. Good news. So yesterday, whenever they did the PM and everything, I told you the story about the check engine light. And Bruckner's, being the dumb shits that they are, wanted to, charge me $1,500 to replace the check engine light. Now, I was pretty sure that it was just like an issue with being, having too much oil, because it came on whenever I put in too much oil. Well, after they did the service yesterday and changed the oil, the check engine light's gone. And I thought maybe it might just be a fluke. Um, so I have stopped and started the truck like 3 times since then, and the check engine light has not come back on. So we're good to go. Bruckner's is a bunch of dumb shits, and the check engine light issue is resolved, and we got ourselves a PM, so we're good to go for another 20,000 miles. And they're going to PM this APU whenever they install it. He said he's going to wash it and everything. Um, so that's going to be awesome. And what I want to do is have the PMs on my APU and my truck done at the same time. And Big Rig Products doesn't charge very much for an APU PM. They only charge $75. So that's pretty awesome. And that's very reasonable because, in all honesty, um, it's like $10 or $15 in parts. It's just a fuel filter and an oil filter, and they're not proprietary or anything. They're just standard fuel filters and oil filters. They're like maybe $5 a piece, and then like $5 of oil, so maybe like $15 worth of parts and a half hour of labor. And they charge $100 an hour for labor, so $50 for labor and like $15 in parts. That's $65. Plus they have a little bit of part markup, 25%. So that's how they come up to the $75 is basically. So the highest I've heard of was a Carrier dealer told me it was 300 and something dollars to do a preventative maintenance, a service on one of these units. Um, most of the places want somewhere like TA told me $95. Um, a Carrier authorized dealer in town, W&B, I think they told me they charge like $125 to $150, somewhere in that area. APU Center in Stratford, Missouri, those shady sons of bitches, they charge $125, but they're probably going to get more money out of you somehow. I don't trust those people. But anyway, this video is going long, and I'm starting to ramble really bad because I'm tired. I've been up for 24 hours. If you stuck it out on this video, then awesome. I appreciate it. And I apologize for all the rant and raving and rambling I did because I am really tired right now. And my mind is racing and it's hard to focus. So thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.